Hello everybody, and welcome to my mini training on Tuesday today. We are going to talk about the top 3 limiting beliefs of extraordinary women and how to shift them today. If you don't know me, if you're just coming across me for the first time, I'm Sarah Negus. I'm the modern day shaman, and I really do help you guys to discover and master your unseen potential so that you can overcome your own self-doubt and really live a life that means the world to you. You know, it's all about your own dreams. So thank you for coming on live. If you are here, tell me you're here. Love to see that you're here and that I'm talking to somebody. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. There's lots of lovely content in this live stream that you'll want to watch all the way to the end. Now, why am I going to witter on or tell you about what I have come across in terms of the top 3 limiting beliefs and how to shift them? Well, just this past weekend, I was at an extraordinary event. It was called Extraordinary Live. It was hosted by the lovely Lenka Lutonska. If you know her, she's an amazing business coach. Go find her online. Hello, guys. What can I tell you about this event? Well, it was pretty extraordinary, and I got to talk to and mingle with 100 of other like-minded women. Hello, Monique. Great to see you. What was even better about the event was I got to talk about what I do, and I got to find out what was actually going down within them, what their own mind chatter was when they were coming up against their next ceiling, their next level of growth. And it was so interesting. I learned that pretty much our self-internalized limitations are all really very similar. We all really do manage to trip ourselves up just when we're running effortlessly to that finish line that we've been kind of seeing in our vision, on our vision board. And I thought what I'd do is I'd share the top 3 struggles that I heard these extraordinary entrepreneurs talk about, and give you a little bit of a way to shift them if you recognize them within yourself. So the number one core limiting belief that I heard people talking about was the fear of success or failure. And it's something that I work with my own clients on often. In fact, every single person that I've ever worked with in my mentoring work has some level of fear of success or fear of failure going off inside themselves. Now, these two play off against each other. With the kind of insidious mind chatter of I won't even try in case I fail. It's too hard. I might fail. I'm not going to do it. I've never succeeded, so obviously I'm going to fail. This fear of your own greatness is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's designed by your unconscious to keep you safe because your light is too bright, you see. You are too shiny and you are too powerful. And you learned this at your mother's knee or your father's knee, you know, when you weren't heard in the way that you needed to be heard. And even the most seemingly successful of us all still play around with this push me, pull me energy inside their own being. Now, how do you shift this fear of success or fear of failure, however it shows up for you? Well, I've come up here with 12 little tips on how to take you through a process. The first one is to track back to the last time that you felt that you failed, and then track back further to a failure perhaps 10 or 5 years ago, and then track back to the first time that you remember failing and ask yourself, who decided that these experiences or situations were failures? It's a good strong question there. Who decided that your experiences were failures? Look at what you learned from the situation. And now in this case, it's a good idea to come above the situation that's in the past as the observer. I like to distance myself from it. Hello, Catherine. Lovely to see you here. And then think about what actions led you to the outcome. You know, the outcome that you have deemed to be a failure. What did you have to do? What were you doing to get there? Can you see, perhaps, how the actions were actually successes in their own right? Perhaps you had to be brave. Perhaps you had to change a habit. Perhaps you had to actually be really vulnerable. Perhaps you had to learn something new in order to get to a place where you were going to step up. You measured that as some sort of failure in the past. But I'd say to you, have a look at all the little bits that came together in order to bring you to the end, to the outcome. And you might see that you weren't failing at all. You were actually growing. Another thing to think about in the kind of little tips here is, what expectations did you have at the time? Did you expect a certain outcome? And then can you see that in hindsight, your expectation of outcome closed the energy down? Hello, Amy. Can you also see in hindsight that this failure was actually the next step on your path? So you have perhaps been brave, you've been vulnerable, you've learned something, and yet the outcome didn't come to what you wanted it to be. So you measured it as a failure. But it was actually just a step along your path. Because in that failure you would have learned something amazing about yourself. Maybe not at the time, but in hindsight, looking back as that observer, you will see that there was something in there for you. Now, can you, while you're working through this little pattern here, celebrate your life since then? How has your life turned out? Looking back, can you see that that was not a failure in any way, shape or form? And can you celebrate all that you are now? I always add those at the end of any kind of reframe, because your life now and what you are now is amazing. Even if you're hard on yourself, even if you doubt yourself, you are still living and breathing and expressing yourself, your full self. Then we come to the second core limiting belief that I came across at this extraordinary event that I was attending, and it's this search for perfection. This is a huge self-sabotage, big time. Perfection is out of reach, guys. Let me tell you, you can never achieve it. And I'll also tell you that you never have experienced perfection, because we're all imperfect. And this is what is so perfect about our existence. It is in our imperfection that we find growth. Self-growth is what we're all about. After all, it's our whole purpose of being here. And perfection is all about perception, isn't it? It comes down to a need to be loved, a need to be seen, a need to be heard. And if that wasn't felt as a small child in the way that you needed it to be felt, that child within you will try over and over and over and over again to be better, to be good, to be perfect, in order to be seen, heard and loved. Now, how do you shift that one? So you ask yourself, who are you trying to be perfect for now? Is it you, or is it a voice within you that sounds like a parent, a teacher, an ex-lover, anything like that? Ask yourself why you want to be perfect. What will it give you when you are perfect in your perception? And then ask yourself, is it okay for you to be perfect in your own imperfection, in your now? And then to ground this, can you go and act on something that you'd previously wanted to be perfect and settle for 80% good enough? So, gosh, when I first came on to do live streams on Facebook, I wasn't really very good at it. And I used to really kind of try very hard to have everything just so. And it never came off. So when I actually relaxed and allowed myself to be me, I felt that my live streams got better, that I felt more confident in myself, and I certainly got a lot more engagement. So is there something in your life where you've been holding back because you want your perception of perfection to be it? Well, go and do it and let it be 80% good. And journal after that how that felt. The sense of accomplishment that in actually overcoming your need of perfection, you've gone and done something, you've made something happen, you've grounded something in your energy. And then again, sit in gratitude for all that you are, all those golden sparks within you, all your shadow, all your light, and then celebrate your now in its imperfect state. Very important. And then we come to number 3, core limiting belief number 3. It's this kind of doing, being busy idea. The idea that being busy and doing will be good is deeply embedded in us, particularly as women. And it's a need to feel worthy of existence. That's what it tracks back to. Being busy and working hard is something that you learned you had to do to succeed. It's actually really embedded in our culture in terms of being valid, being worthy is that you have to have something going on. You know, you have to be giving, doing. I'm not saying that giving is bad, but give to yourself first, always. And this is kind of a way of numbing yourself, distracting yourself to what is going on inside you. Having lots on is this way of being numb to what you actually need and what's happening within you and what your inner world is telling you. Now, the thing here is, if you rationalize, I am good enough, you know somewhere in your academic mind that you should feel good enough, but then you go away and you have to prove it by doing something, that limiting core belief that you aren't good enough is still there. And if you understand that others have their own journey and challenges, yet you still take what they say or do personally, then your inner child and inner critic needs to talk. They need to have a little chat because they're playing against each other. And if you feel that knuckling down and working hard will bring you success on its own, you're ignoring the universal law that like energy attracts like energy, and being able to receive abundance and having a wealth consciousness, feeling plenty, is an energetic thing. It comes from within you and it acts as a magnet. Now, your energetic frequency needs to be vibrating on worthy. It needs to be on abundance. It needs to kind of be on, yeah, baby, bring success on. I'm worth it. And doing is proving yourself to someone, either your father, your mother, your teacher, whoever didn't recognize an achievement that took a lot of doing, therefore proving that you weren't really good enough and needed to do much, much more. There's that doing. So how do you shift that? Stop all things. First off, stop doing. Stop it. Relax. And ask yourself, is this simple? Is this easy? And is this fun in terms of what you are committing to and what you are doing? And if it's not those things, reevaluate. Do you want to be doing something that's complicated, that feels like pushing water uphill, that doesn't give you joy? Do you really want to be doing those things? Well, there's always a choice. But if you haven't got choice and there is a situation where you feel that you have to do it, can you find a way to do it with love and a spring in your step and joy in your heart? It will change the energy. Trust me, it will. Now, when you've had a little look at that, go away and give yourself a treat and disconnect from everything you normally do for a couple of days. Now, when you do that, just ask yourself, is it difficult to be kind to you? That's another not good enough little nudge there. And when you do give yourself a treat, invest some energy on your own being. Just being good enough to be in existence, to be alive in all that you are, in your perfect imperfection. While you're there in these couple of days of being kind and not doing, can you listen to your mind chatter? Write it down. It will come through, trust me. Reframe it from a negative mind chatter, which is you should be doing something, you're not busy, no one's going to be able to survive without you. Gosh, you're really silly to think that you can't exist without doing something. Write all of that stuff down and then reframe it, because it's excuses and lies and old limiting beliefs, and it's not helpful. Reframe that mind chatter from negative to positive. I love the hearts, by the way. Thank you. Now, when you've had a go at that, sit in these days that you're giving yourself off in gratitude for all that you can do and all that you are. And celebrate, this is really important, celebrate your ability to exist without having to do something. And trust me, your energetic frequency will really expand, it will really lift, and you will feel happier in your life going forwards. Now, I have put together, based on these core limiting beliefs that I heard a lot of people talking about, I've put together a specific mastermind which has only got 4 spots, and it's for 6 months for 4 people. It's a call, 3 calls a month, and then a week of processing. And basically, it will be individual mentoring within the group process. So it's going to be fast, because it's not just one-to-one. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced group dynamics. What happens is the energy amplifies massively, and everyone shifts and shifts and shifts. So if you are looking to work on your limiting core beliefs, so that you can overcome your self-saboteur, your inner victim, if you want to heal your inner child and step into feeling really good enough for everything that you do in your life, in just being you, if you want permission to be who you really are, come and talk to me. Send me an email on sarah@sarahnegus.com, or message me privately on Facebook, as I have just these 4 spots. Actually, there's probably only 2 left on my mastermind. The calls are going to be on a Monday at 5 p.m. London time, which I think is 11 a.m. Central American time, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. European time. I'm having to think there. So just have a think about it. If you want to surround yourself with other high achieving entrepreneurs, after all, our energy tends to resonate with the people that we surround ourselves with. And if you want to really build a very strong vibration of growth and wealth and abundance and that fine feeling of you, then come talk to me, because we're going to be starting in February for 6 months. The investment is £750 a month. If you pay up front, there's a discount of £500, so it comes to £4,000 for the 6 months. You won't be sorry. I've got wonderful private clients who are really achieving massive amounts of things. To give you a little bit of an idea, one of my clients just last week put herself in front of 16 CEOs. She's a corporate executive coach, and she had the chance to speak in front of 16 of these CEOs. Every single one made contact with her, and she has 3 calls with them this week to sign contracts. Isn't that amazing? Another one of my clients launched a year-long program, and she was full. In fact, she went over full. She got 42 instead of 40 people into her very high-end group program that lasts a year. The investment in that was $10,000 each. So you can see the big level of jump that she made. Another one of my clients manifest multiple 6 figures last year in their business, and even more just on a general basis, relationships, ability to create grows exponentially. So as I say, come talk to me if you are interested in joining my intimate mastermind. There's only 4 spaces, 2 spaces. And I would love to welcome you on it, because we're going to do amazing things. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to me. If you like this, go ahead and share it. If you know somebody that you think will benefit from really shifting, or if you know someone who's ready to take a leap and really up-level their business and their life, put them in touch with me, because I'm here and waiting for them. This is what I do. Okay, guys, I will be back on Thursday with another little mini training. I hope you've enjoyed the content that we've had today. Bye.